Where's they, dog? Tipsy. Hey, you're not gonna like this, but I gotta drain it. I do. Because you guys won't drink it when it looks like this. So we gotta drain it. And watch your Crocs. Good morning, pretty lady. What's going on, everybody? Woo, let's get in the shade. What's going on, everybody? Chad, Doss Outdoors. It's Sunday. The wind is ripping. Tomorrow's Labor Day at the time you guys are seeing this. And yeah, just some chores around the farm. We did not get the rain we were expecting. We didn't get any of it. I don't think any of y'all did, because a lot of you commented, a lot of you have been messaging me. It's kind of one of those deals where like the conditions are right for rain everywhere, but it ain't happening. Anyway, if you watched our last video, it is really windy. Like it's gonna blow something in, but it ain't gonna. Now she's gonna come up and drink it. It's not good. You don't like it. What are you doing? You don't like it? Don't show off now. Come on. You stinker. I know you don't like that. They do too. They're onto your tricks there, Tipsy. My goodness. So, if you watched our previous video on the well house, I sincerely appreciate all the support on that video, because man, I'll tell you what, this channel, this Doss Outdoors channel, kind of making it about projects and stuff, and it being a little bit more aimed at those of you that watch everything we do, those of you that have been with us from the beginning, or if you just joined us and you're helpful. I'm on the same page as all y'all. I really like that Doss Outdoors channel because I can go do something like the plumbing and you guys can coach me through it. Now in the previous person detected, oh. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chad, Doss Outdoors. It's me, I'm person detected by the cattle water. In the previous video, we spliced into our water line, and I have amazing news to report that you haven't heard yet. We spliced into our water line. Now we have unfiltered, untreated, unsoftened water for our cows. This isn't it. This is the softened water. What's up, brother? Everybody liked when you was cheesing yesterday. They liked when you were cheesing in the video. Yeah. Can you show us the pearly whites? Can you show them? Can you show them? Say, not today, Dad. Not today. You don't have snacks. And yes, Tipsy's this tall. But right now, look, this too. See how green and nasty that gets? Hi, young lady. Howdy, young lady. Anyway, back to task, back to point. We spliced into our water line, which now gives the cows and anything we want the mineral water that's right out of the ground that they love. It's just after the pressure tank. And in that video, you guys already knew, I called Rob, a friend who's been a plumber for years and years and years and been on the channel, on mine and Kyle and Shannon's. And he was like, hey, you can leave those ball valves wide open because the pressure will keep the water moving forward, even if you're not filling the house and the water troughs at the same time. And it's worked perfect. I'll tell you, last night, for the first time since we moved in, we were able to turn on the water and fill up a trough, full pop. I mean, I probably could have turned on 2 or 3 of them. Also went inside the house and turned on the kitchen sink and there was no loss of pressure. So basically the pressure tank we bought, the 86 gallon, the big one, Rob was like, hey, there's no way this thing will ever let you down. This is huge. This is probably, you know, he recommended like a 55 to 60 based on square footage and usage. We went with an 86, mainly because that's what they had in stock. And it was also like $75 more. And I was like, more is always better. Bigger is always better. It's happening. But even after Rob left, before we spliced in this water, the only thing we gained was the ability to have more water pressurized on reserve. So that's awesome, man. Super excited about it. Yeah, last night was the first night we were able to do that. It was pretty stinking cool. Hang on. I'm actually gonna get a stump under that because I can't hold that while it drains. Woo! I just hulked up on it and tipped her over. So let's get out of here before the cows think they're getting fed. And I'll teach you guys something. If you're new here, welcome and howdy. If you're old here, welcome and howdy. This is my lovely wife and I's 40 acres in Northeast Oklahoma. We've got longhorns, donkeys, and a pig. 3 boys and 3 dogs, and a couple steers. We've been here 7 months, and finally, after 6 months and 3 weeks, technically, we spliced into the water line like we're supposed to, ahead of the pressure tank, put a bypass on there. So now the animals get the hard water that they want. They do not want that softened, sissy water. They don't. And I've also found that water, the softened water, builds algae like crazy. Like I was going through so much more water being softened. So it's as if the minerals, which everybody who's earthy, tonesy, the minerals are just better. It's better for everything, okay? Putting salt in your water, it's great. Makes it easier to bathe with, shower with, that's awesome. And it's better than putting fluoride in it. Some of y'all know. There's nothing wrong with the fluoride in the water. We did that. And now what I was gonna teach you is, did you know that I've learned a trick? Rather than scrubbing your water dishes, not just for the people that can't stand that a tank might be a little bit green, rather than scrubbing your water dishes, if you just drain them, if you just run them dry, we've got 2 of them, 2 350-gallon tanks, and we've got a calf water in there, whoop, that only the calves can get to. And if you just let them go dry, the sun actually cooks. You have to think that algae is living, okay? It needs the water, it needs the sunshine, but it needs both. So if you just let them run dry, sit them out in the sun like I'm gonna do today, it'll bake it. And you can literally, you don't need a power washer, you don't need nothing. It's like dust. Like you can just tip the tub up on its side and just smack the bottom of it and it comes right off. It's the greatest thing ever. Try it. Try it, try it, try it. Told you. It's so bad.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I won't make that mistake again. Woo. All right, so I was gonna film that, but nobody needs to see me make those faces. We left, like, when we moved from our old farm back in February, we accidentally left 2 pounds of beef, just 2 pounds of beef, for some silly reason, in the small deep freezer. And about a month later, it was ripe. Like, I don't even think we meant to open it. I think I was looking to plug it in because we were thinking about what steers we were gonna process. I was looking at spots for deer and trying to figure out like what we were going to put around the garage and where we had plugs. And I just happened to crack the lid to that small freezer and it was like, whoa, funky monkey. So Ray had actually been smelling something in the garage, the shop. She'd been smelling something in here and we got 3 dogs. So we just assumed somebody had a code brown in the corner we ain't found yet. So what you guys suggested was, and there was a lot of suggestions and some good ones. They're all good, all helpful. Set it in the sun, let it bake it out. Just let it heat it up. Then you can clean it with like Simple Green or vinegar, and then close the lid and you can put charcoal in it and baking soda. We're gonna do them all. I have to save that one. You hate to throw it away, especially when it's your air. That was also a freezer that my mom and dad bought me when I had my first 2 steers. Now, they didn't both fit in there, but that was something that I was like, Mom, you know, when you get older, parents are like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And you're like, I want this. And they're like, okay. I got to deep freeze because as an adult, that's what you want. So we're going to let her sit out in the sun today and hopefully bake that out. Hee-hawing at somebody. Oh, see that right there? So that was the shelf that was right here. And some of you guys were crying and screaming because I took it outside instead of using the sheeting up there. All in agreement, the sheeting had to go. I'm sorry, the shelving had to go. It was 4 feet deep, 10.5 feet wide, took up the whole stinking side of the wall. Oh, and by the way, I have 36 feet of pegboard. How cool is that? No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 8. I have 32 feet of pegboard. I did that way too slow for a guy that does homework with his kids. And this shelf is kind of a catch-all, but those shelves over there, they were another 2 feet deep, almost 2.5 actually. And they were infested with this stuff, okay? There is rat pee and rat poison. Actually, that's a rat poison block right there. all over this shelving. Even up here, this is stuff that they painted the house with and they left us. We appreciate it. All that good stuff. Yeah. So anyway, we didn't want that sheeting up on the wall because it was stained, it was gross. Now, I didn't show anybody that, so there was no way for you to know. But you know, I just wanted you to know that I wasn't being wasteful. Honestly, about 6 months into YouTube, homesteading, farming, Facebook, and whatever you want to call this, you learn not to waste. You hang on to everything. And it's so funny when people who don't do this kind of life see your farm and they see what they think is like trash because it's barely a roll of like 30 feet of fence. You're like, dude, that's like $60. I'm not throwing that away. Yeah. But they're like, oh my goodness, clean your place up. Oh my goodness, clean your tool bench. Listen, if your tool bench is clean, you don't use it. Now there's some old boys that can keep them clean and use them, but I'm not one of them. So I just keep them organized. Oh, I just don't want anybody to think I'm being wasteful, but I did get pegs like you guys suggested. And we're gonna start getting some of this stuff up off the wall here. I don't know what you put on that one, but yeah, we're gonna do that. I'll probably keep all the drills and stuff down here because we can charge them right here. Thankfully, I've got outlets all along the wall. They're on their own breaker even. What else? I got little ones. I even got some baskets. There they are, just for like catch-all, like tape, air hose nozzles, all kinds of stuff, man. Like things I keep on hand in case something breaks that really hasn't had a place because we haven't had a shop. So anyway, super excited. There's a lot of cleaning that has to go into that. I don't know that I'm going to film every bit of that, like organizing my pegboard wall, but I will say this, and I mean it. I mean it with my sincerest meaningfulness that I can. If you've got a pegboard, I don't care if it's 4 feet by 8 feet. I don't care if it's the back of a toolbox where it's like 20 inches by 32 inches. If you've got one and you've got something you want me to see, you think it might be helpful, chaddossfarms@gmail.com. That's it. Send me a picture. I appreciate it. Some of you guys sent me a picture of your well setups, your pump setups, your softener setups. We actually got some pictures of people who had done tote organization. I thought that was pretty cool. So like up here, I think this is a great place to put tote storage. Might be only 2 or 3 of them, but I'm not one of them people that can have 20 or 30 totes. I don't understand the logic there. That if you got stuff in totes that you only touch for once a year and it doesn't include Jesus's birthday, I don't understand it. I can't do it, okay? So, yeah. No, you get off of there. Did you guys see that little dirt devil on my... Oh, you little stinker. Case, my oldest out there filming for his video, and he created a dirt devil, and I'm sure that it's just tossing my fescue around, but that's all right. Actually, the dirt needs to be moved around. We need to rake it or drag it. Yeah, cover the seed a little bit. Fescue only needs like a 1/16 of an inch to grow, and honestly, I don't know that it needs any dirt to grow, because when I seeded these pastures over here, which once we get the cows off of it, you'll see that I actually did seed it. Right now, they just eat it as it grows. But when I seeded those over there, when I pulled through the little culvert, my seeder spreader, where's it at? My seeder spreader, when I was driving through the little ditch down there to get into the pasture, it jumped and it tossed some seed out the back because I filled it up all the way to the top. And it's actually in the ditch. And we got rain like 2 days later, and I kid you not, we have some amazing fescue in our ditch now. Looks fantastic. I didn't cover it or nothing. It'll grow, man. But yeah, I know that I need to walk it. I don't know that I'm going to do it today because it's hot and it's going to cool down, and then it sounds so much more pleasant and enjoyable. But I have this hunting app, and it's basically for marking where you leave your deer stand and property lines and stuff like that. But you can also build your entire layout of your farm in that app. Now all the cows are going to walk up to him wanting food. But I've called them before without food. Sometimes I do it to get their attention, get them away from a gate if I've got like somebody here working. That back area back there, I want to stand in the shade and out of the wind. That back area back there is 110 yards diagonally. And I'm assuming it's probably 110 yards. Like, I think it's almost a perfect square. And we're going to kind of make a rectangle, but one side is going to be a big, long diagonal line. So that way the cows, when they come up and eat at the top, we can actually see them. And we also want to, so right where Case is at, actually where the side-by-side is, I've got some panels set up, and I would love to have like the chute and a working area right there, because I can get to it real easy. Pour a pad over there, I can run power to it, it's not that far away. I see no activity from the calf launcher. But tomorrow is Labor Day. We have two that if they don't go on Labor Day, I'll officially be disappointed.
Oh.
We'd have Lucy, Lily, and Labor.
I know.
Can we name her Labor?
No.
Or him? That'd be funny.
No.
Yeah, then we'd never forget their birthday.
Oh my.
Or their name day. You know why I said that?
Yes.
Tell the people.
Does anyone else know what that's from?
Name day. Well, they'll know what it's from because they say it overseas, across the other side of the pond.
Oh.
So there's some shows that some people may or may not agree with, but they are historical. They're based on books. They're totally fiction. But I've been going back and watching a few of the shows that Ray's never seen.
I've never gotten into the fiction, like the science fiction type stuff. Like
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, I'm not into it, and so
She wants to. I'm going to interrupt. I'm interrupting. She wants to watch the weird serial killer. Listen, if I ever wind up missing, start with her. Okay. Anyway.
He's not wrong.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
That was an admission.
I even told my mom the other day, I was like, we were talking about it, and I said, because my dad was actually obsessed with Game of Thrones when I was growing up, because, you know, but I could never get into it. I didn't like it, but.
Yeah, dragons and swords are cool.
Here we are. I know, I told my mom, I was like, I can't get into dragons.
But here you are.
I'm into it.
Like, every single night, we tune in and we watch a show. And it's our thing. It is what it is. So, yeah, take it or leave it. Speaking of ponds, we figured something out. Do I tell them the dimensions or do I wait like until we get the fence done? This is the Doss Outdoors channel. And these, I was just actually, you know what? I think I need to tell them the dimensions because I was just bragging about the folks that watch this channel. Because even if they're new here and this is how they found the main channel, the folks that watch us do this stuff love us. Not that they don't love Doss Farms, but like, you got to really, I mean, literally the other day they listened to me talk about plumbing for 17 minutes. You only made it 7 minutes, I think. That's when you left the room, so I'm not sure. I'll share some dimensions with you. You ready for this? We just learned this. I just learned it again. We went back and measured our pastures, like officially with the hunting app. This right here, surprisingly, and we just measured wrong, but we knew it's actually 5 acres right here and 8 acres back there. That's it. We've had 17 cows on 13 acres, 13 and a half, give or take. And that's a lot, but remember, if you want to call us out for that, feel free to look up how many cows are in a feedlot. Okay? I'm just saying. No offense to anybody doing feedlots, but don't come at me about 17 cows when 4 of them are babies on 13 acres. Where we were missing or messed up or whatever was we had counted for this space right here, and it's not even included. I don't know when I did it. I don't know what I did. It must have been 6-7 months ago when Jeremiah was here building our fencing. But the new area, which is, we're gonna have a fence running across here to the pink post, and then we're gonna have it go all the way back, across, all the way back. That's 20 acres, like 20.2 acres. So you can see how I was saying this was 15.2. I was accounting for 5 that we hadn't fenced in. But anyway, the new acreage is 20.2 acres. Super excited about it. So 20 and 13, that's 33 acres for technically 10 head of cattle. And in the grand scheme, my dream is to be, it's so humid, my lens is fogging up. Hang on. My dream or my goal, I'd love to have a dozen longhorn heifers and then a couple of red Angus heifers, baldy heifers, something like that, to actually raise steers or put a bull with that's also our longhorn bull. That's kind of the dream, and that's more than enough land, because you got to remember, we've got 4 acres right here in raised pasture, which we're calling the grow out pen. So we've got plenty of room. We really do. Longhorns don't eat much. True story. So we've got plenty of room. I'm not worried about it. But what that means is when I measured all this today, now I know officially how much room is right here. So coming off of this post and running over there, basically this dirt area, despite whether you're keeping track of this post, running straight that way, this area right here is 1.4 acres, right? Yeah, it's 1.4 acres. And we live on, our house is on, we're fenced in, another 1.4 acres. Now that's counting all this land right here, the land in front of the house, the land side of the house. So 1.4, 1.4, 13, 20 some, and the remainder's back there in this pasture and then back behind it all the way to the creek. So pretty cool. That means that's a big old pond. That's a huge pond. What we're trying to figure out is, we want to be able to like see the pond. So do we take material away? Where does it go? Or do you put it right here? But if you put it right here, when it overflows, does it come into your yard? Because I'm not sure about most dogs. I mean, I know dogs are born knowing how to doggy paddle, but I'm not sure we should flood the backyard with this guy in it. Know what I'm saying, brother? You just, what's that cartoon? I have a big head and little arms. That from like Meet the Robinsons or something? Robinsons. A lot of planning. Yeah. Here's what I want you guys to do though. The most important thing you take away from this video. We appreciate y'all. And the other side of that is, my dad posted a video today, dad and mom, Grandpa Doss Farms. Case filmed it for him. So Case filmed it here on our farm, and we uploaded it to Grandpa's channel, because the most difficult thing when you're going through stuff is maintaining work and your responsibilities and all that stuff. And when you've raised a boy so right that at 15 years old he'll go out and film a video for his grandpa, that means you're doing something right on all fronts, from the grandpa level and the grandma level down to the 15-year-old, the 8-year-old, 5-year-old, going on 45. That means you're doing it right. So huge shout out to Case for taking care of that for Grandpa today. My brothers, everybody, Shannon, Ray, everybody that's been helping, all of it, okay? So anyway, just wanted you guys to know what's going on. I will tag Dad's video down below. I'm not sure if it comes out before this one or after this one, but there is a special message from Grandpa at the end of the video, Grandpa and Grandma. Talk about an odd couple right there. I have no words. Whew, man, did you see when she shook though and all the dust came off? So Cabela kind of lives under the deck.
That is why they're not in our house.
That's why they're not. That's the main reason they're not in the house. But anyway, we're doing great. We sincerely appreciate you guys. I think that's it. stay frosty, right?
Yeah.